Hello and welcome to another episode of Bulldog Profiles. I am your host, Kylie Lindquist, Assistant Principal for Curriculum and Instruction here at RB, and I am thrilled to be here in Studio A of RB TV with new member of the Social Science Department, Maricela Vega. Hi, Mary. How are you?
Good. I'm good. How
Very
are you?
good. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course.
As I mentioned, you are a new member of our Social Science Department. Can you talk to us a little bit about what you teach within the Social Science Department so that people know kind of what you're doing here at RB in the classroom?
So I'm teaching two different courses. I'm teaching world history and I'm teaching consumer economics. And I teach anywhere from freshmen to seniors in consumer ec. And then world history, freshman and sophomore.
Okay, so world history, that makes sense. I understand that, listening history about the world. What about consumer economics? What kind of a class is that? What types of things do you learn in consumer ec?
Consumer ec's pretty interesting. We recently, so the first unit we talked about was advertisement. So how to be a wise consumer when you're buying things, to not just be impulsively buying whatever.
I should probably have taken that lesson, absolutely.
And then we moved on to post-secondary options. So I taught them any possible options that they can have, from attending college to trade programs, taking a gap year. I taught them literally everything post-secondary, being entrepreneurs. And now we're talking about credit scores and what else? Credit scores, credit cards, loans, things like that, student loans.
Prepare them for when they get into college or when they start getting out in the world and someone asks you to fill out a credit application everywhere you go.
So the things that students think that they're like, I did not learn this in college, that's what we learn in consumer ec.
Wonderful.
Anything finance, yeah.
Things about how to be better about your money.
Yes.
I think I need to sit into your class.
You should.
Absolutely.
It's a great class, and we have really great discussions in
That's
class.
awesome.
It's
I have had the opportunity to see your classes, and it's been really refreshing and very exciting. We're so excited to have you as a teacher here. But let's rewind a little bit. Where did you go to college, and how did you get into the field of education?
So I started at Moraine Valley, and I got my associates in special education. Then I moved on to Governor State, where I got my bachelor's in psychology. I did a little bit of social work with that, and then I realized that I wanted to for sure go back and get my education degree. So I went to North Park University to get my master's in education.
Okay, excellent. You mentioned Moraine Valley. Moraine Valley is a community college. So you went and got your associates after 2 years and then went on to go to a 4-year institution.
Yes.
This is a path that is becoming more and more popular.
For sure.
But I don't feel like a lot of people really fully understand. What made you make that choice to start at Moraine, which is a beautiful college? If anyone has not visited Moraine Valley, I have a good friend in the welding department over there. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous campus with beautiful facilities.
Great college. I went that route because I was the first of my family to graduate college.
Really?
So I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
None of my brothers, none of my siblings, cousins, anybody went to college. So I kind of like had to break that wall.
Absolutely.
So that's the only school that I knew of, really, besides Richard Daley College and then Harold, and I didn't want to go to those schools. And financially, I just couldn't afford it because I knew I was going to pay for college. Like, no one was going to help me. So I'm like, let me do my 2-year in community college and then transfer into a 4-year program because it was just more financially readily available to me.
Absolutely. And all of that stuff ends up transferring over, especially when you go for that associate's degree.
That's what I'm teaching my kids right now in consumer ecs.
Yeah, absolutely. Because then you come out of college and you don't have crippling debt.
For sure.
You know, you mentioned you were the first in your first generation in your family to go to college. What was that like for your family? What did that feel like for you as a person, and how did your family react to that? That's a beautiful thing.
They are very proud, to say the least.
Yes.
My dad has no idea what I do. My mom, she knows what I do, and she's really, really proud. All of my siblings, they're very grateful because I kind of set the tone for my nieces and nephews that are now in high school.
Yes.
So they're looking to go to college, and I'm hoping that I was a good role model for them.
Because if Aunt Mary did it, then we want to be able to do that. Oh, I love that. So what is something that attracted you to come to RB and teach at RB?
I wanted to look for a place close to my house too, specifically. I really like Brookfield. I like the area. I live pretty close by, so I'm like, I feel like this is a good distance. So funny story, I was randomly driving to my brother's house for a party, and it was in Elgin, so we just happened to pass by. I was in the passenger seat, of course. I wasn't driving. And I was like, that looks like a really nice school. So I started like Googling it, looking at the mission statement, looking at the history, and then I was like, I need to apply to this school. So on my phone, I started applying.
The application was there right then. The opening was available. Well, I am very glad that you drove by RB on your way to that party at your brother's.
And then everything just like resonated with who I am and what I value, my morals and everything. So I was like, for sure, this is a place I would want to apply to.
I love it. That's awesome. What has been the most exciting thing for you now, being a full-time teacher at a school that you saw, you know, driving to a party and actually realizing that dream then? What has been the most exciting part for you?
Honestly, I think my favorite part of teaching is the students. I love talking to them. I love conversating with them. They tell me the most random things, and I just, like, that just makes my day so much better, and just laughing at their jokes or just random things that they tell me. That makes me want to come to school every single day.
Oh, absolutely. I always tell people, RB has such a wonderful student population. And I feel like you don't really know. You can take it from someone telling you, and then once you get in the building, you realize, wow, we really do have amazing students here at RB. Now, I know you've been involved a little bit, I think, outside of the classroom, too. Are you working on sponsoring something?
So I'm currently co-sponsoring for this year OLAS, so Latin American organization.
Okay, perfect.
So right now, like, we just passed up Hispanic Heritage Month. We did a couple of activities. We had after schools where we would stay and paint banners for the Heritage Month and hang those up. We do loterias and after school sometimes. Tomorrow we're actually going to have a Dia de los Muertos, so we're going to have like ofrendas, like offerings for the dead or the past. So we're staying after school, we're going to have some snacks and then just hang out for a bit, talk about it. We're doing a virtual ofrenda and we're doing like a physical ofrenda, so whatever the students want to bring, and anybody's welcome. And
what does that mean to you, being able to work with students and kind of help them celebrate their heritage, which is also your heritage, and kind of and make those connections? What has that meant to you?
I think I'm gaining much more pride in like my culture and just appreciation, because I was never involved in any club like that when I was in high school. So I think I found like a new, like, I don't know, just overall respect for our culture.
That's awesome.
And just being able to see how like they're so excited about the topics that they present every single Tuesday that we meet. It just teaches me a lot. It has taught me a lot so far.
That's awesome. That's the true mark, in my opinion, of a really phenomenal educator, is someone who teaches but also hopes to learn from their students as well.
For sure.
And I've seen that in your classroom, and I can hear that in the way that you talk. Okay, so you give your all to school. You're a co-sponsor of OLAS. You're a new teacher, so I know that means you're working overtime all the time to make sure that you're planned and you design beautiful lessons. What is it that you do when you have some time to yourself? What do you do in your free time when you get to step away from the school building to kind of rest and recharge?
I love to work out. I love to lift weights.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
I've been doing it for like 9 years, so that's, as soon as I'm done with school, my therapy is going to the gym and working out like an hour or two.
Absolutely, and you prefer the weights to necessarily like running, the cardio. You probably do it.
I can't do cardio.
No, okay, so definitely you prefer the weights. That's awesome.
I'm actually trying to get a weightlifting club started for girls here.
I love that. So girls, if there's any RB girls listening, Miss Vega wants to start a girls weightlifting club. That's amazing.
Yes. We have some paperwork already submitted, so we'll see if we hear back from that.
That's awesome. You haven't even been here a semester, Mary, and you're already looking for ways to make us better. And that is one of the reasons we are so privileged to have you on our teaching staff.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining me today. This has been awesome. It's been really cool to get to know you, a little bit more about you, and just to celebrate the fact that you joined us this year. We're very fortunate to have you.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you being here and being such a positive outlook. I feel like when I talk to you, it's just easy to talk to.
Oh, that's sweet of you to say.
That.
Mary Vega is my new favorite guest on Bulldog Profiles. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mary.
you.
That was very sweet. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you'll join us again next time when we bring you more profiles here on Bulldog Profiles. Take care.